Hello, now we're live. Guru Nation, how's it going? Clinical research industry is booming. I told you that earlier in the day I had a fake beach background. This is a real beach background on vacation, on a mini vacation, but I wanted to get another live stream out of the way because I've been getting asked all these questions from the community about how to network exactly. So I know you talked about networking, but how exactly are we supposed to network in 2021? And there's several different ways that you can do it. Number one, the biggest way to go about doing it is obviously LinkedIn in a 2021 world. The methods of networking on LinkedIn and engaging with people on LinkedIn. I mean, LinkedIn is a gold mine. Somebody told me earlier today. LinkedIn's a gold mine. And let's just break down several examples of how to use LinkedIn. So this is assuming that you don't have LinkedIn Premium, which you have to pay for. I have a LinkedIn Premium. I have the most basic LinkedIn Premium you can have. I believe it's $60 a month. What that gets me is, I think it's 15 in-mail credits every month that roll over. So if I don't use, basically what that means is I can email somebody who I'm not connected with. I only use that, so I have a lot of credits because I don't really use that often. I only use that when I'm in a hunt for a physician or somebody specific. Then I'll do my research, I'll narrow it down. I'll of course ask to connect, but I'll just go ahead and do the in-mail. I think that's a pretty good option. I think you don't need that. I just started using LinkedIn Premium like 2 or 3 years ago. Not something you need. I started my LinkedIn in 2008. I actually started my LinkedIn before I even started my YouTube and my podcast and all that stuff. And LinkedIn Premium didn't come till like 2018 or 2019. So you can network on LinkedIn's free version, no problem. I mean, there's no problem with that. So let's break it down. If you are an employee and you want to either switch positions, switch to another company, or you are somebody who wants to break in to the clinical research industry, you can use LinkedIn and connect with similar people, maybe at different companies, maybe at the same company if it's a big company. So question I got earlier today was about trial master file. Hey, how do I find what's fair salary for a trial master file specialist? And the way you do that, I mean, you can go to Glassdoor, you can go to Indeed, you can look up salaries, but you can also just search on LinkedIn for those positions, for other people who are in those positions already. And you can just reach out to them and say, hey, my name is Dan Svera, and I'm looking to be a trial master file specialist. I noticed that you are one. Would love to network with you. If you do that to 100 people a month, then there are hundreds of trial master file specialists on LinkedIn. If you do that, 100 people a month, just genuine, you're not necessarily asking for much. You're just looking to network, ask some small questions here and there. Let them know how you can help them, maybe if they ever need help in some area. I mean, researchers, clinical researchers tend to live in a bubble. So this is what I've noticed, they don't necessarily interact with other people, even within the industry. I mean, I think COVID maybe changed that. People are more used to Zooms now, but even conferences are virtual, although we're getting back to in-person conferences soon. Can't wait. Can't wait for that. But people are growing accustomed to networking online and using the internet to network and using LinkedIn to network. Let me change the banner. By the way, guys, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. We're doing this again twice in one day. because tomorrow, well, maybe tomorrow I'll do it again too. Um, but I had so many people reaching out after that last live stream where I talked about using social media to network. They asked me specifically, how would you do it? So I'm literally taking the time now to break down that task, specifically, or at least initially with LinkedIn. The majority of our networking online is going to be through LinkedIn. And all this stuff is just like messaging people on LinkedIn. Another good way to get to know somebody, obviously, is to follow them, connect with them. Go in your news feed. In your news feed, you will see others who you follow and people that they follow. You will see their stories. So what you can do, scroll through your news feed. I'm going to open mine up right now. We're going to do it live. I have it on my phone. So I'm going to show you what I see on my newsfeed. I actually need to do a better job of this as well, because what I do is I create content. So that's how I network on LinkedIn. But I'm going to show you guys how to do it in case you don't create content, which is most people. So I'm going through my newsfeed, and right now I'm seeing somebody talking about England versus Italy in soccer. I see an ad. I see somebody from a clinical research coordinator at a cancer institute saying, I love my job so much. And so, if I mean, it's hard for me to do this now because I'm not trying to accomplish anything. But let's say I was trying to find somebody I can share studies with. Let's say I do oncology studies, which I do. This is a clinical research coordinator. So this is somebody who gets study leads and obviously works on studies and knows who project managers are. And they're all the way across the country. They're on the other coast. I'm in California. They are in, looks like Georgia, Atlanta. So I could either leave a comment here and say, wow, that's awesome. We need more coordinators who are passionate about their work, especially cancer work, because there's a shortage of staff there. So this person already knows me, but if they didn't, like let's say we just connected, but we didn't really know each other, they would probably look at it, maybe like it, but then they would hopefully remember me for when I message them. And then right after I post this comment, I can message them and say, hey, I just saw your post. I think that's amazing. I run a site out here in California. We do cancer studies as well. Would love to expand my network of contacts. If you ever want to share study leads or information, at least give me a heads up on what new studies you guys are getting, and I can do the same thing on my end. That's one way that would work, and that isn't a thing that old school Dan used to do before I started making YouTube videos and videos for LinkedIn. So this is like something. Don't. I don't want to hear any more excuses. All right, of people saying, "Well, I don't like to make videos, so I'm not going to be able to network." I didn't even get into creating content as far as writing articles or just posting like what this person posted. I mean, why don't you post something as well? Maybe you are somebody who wants to be a trial master file specialist. You can literally make a post right now. I want to be a trial master file specialist. Does anybody in this arena have any advice for me? You might be amazed at people reaching out and saying, yeah, I'm a TMF specialist. This is what I recommend. I mean, it doesn't hurt to try. And if nobody responds, if nobody comments, people are still going to see it. So people might be curious and want to connect with you anyways. But if you it's all about being consistent. If you keep doing this, people will find you. Another post, let's see, I'm scrolling through. Here's one. Thanks, Black Women in Clinical Research and Danielle Coe. It's been 9 months, but it has been Godspeed. Announcement coming soon. This is actually from one of our former CRA Academy students, Shaniqua Wilson. I've interviewed her on the podcast. Here's one from a talent acquisition expert, and this is not even someone I'm connected with. This is the second connection. So she's a talent acquisition specialist, lead associate at from India. Okay, how many rounds of interviews are sufficient to hire an employee in an organization? And then she put a poll: 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6, 7 to 8. There are 248 comments on this. So if you, you can just drop in there and talk to, let's see who's commenting. Another recruiter left a really thoughtful comment. A chairman of something left a comment. There's like 250 people leaving comments. So you can literally go in there and network with all of these people. You have the excuse to do it. You have an excuse to go connect and add 258 people right now and not be weird about it. Because you can just message all of them and say, I saw your comment on the post about how many rounds of interviews you need. These are my thoughts, but I am a job seeker. I'm actually looking to be a trial master file specialist. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Matter of fact, only good things can happen out of that. You are not spamming people. You are not just flooding people's inbox with nonsense, with spam. You are showing that you're reading what they're saying, which is the first thing people care about when they post on social media. Let's go to some more posts. Let's see. Here's one from a site. They're talking about their PI being on the news, on their local news channel. So if you're I don't know, if you're another site owner, you might want to congratulate them or say, hey, awesome. And then if you keep doing that, you know who they are. Maybe you can share study leads or just network. Here's another site. Here's one. I'm celebrating 5 years with Boston Scientific. I'm proud to be part of a company that values science innovation. There's one where you can say, hey, congratulations. People are posting on this one. So nice to see them recognizing you. Congrats on your achievement. Look, there are on this post 14 comments, mostly higher up people at pharma companies. So that's the kind of stuff I'm seeing. Somebody's posting about their kids. I stay away from that unless I know them. So that's how you use LinkedIn to network in a 2021 world without creating content. Now, if you do create content, maybe start with just a simple post. LinkedIn, when you have a smaller account, they won't let you write articles, but you can post. You can post, I think, like 100 characters, or maybe a little more. I don't know. You can't post, 100 words. 100 words. So you can post like several paragraphs and a picture of whatever it is that you are interested in at that moment, preferably related somehow to clinical research. So again, using the example of the trial master file specialist, the person that wants to be a trial master file specialist, you can write a post about why you want to be a trial master file specialist, what you know about regulatory so far, why you think it's important, why you're passionate about that. And then you can have like a call to action for people to help. Hey, if you know how I can go achieve this or put me in the right direction, drop a comment, drop a reply. You can do that. Another way to create content is pictures. You can post a picture and write the same thing or a similar thing. You can do something different every day. Don't always write about the same things. You could write about ancillary things related to your interest in regards to trial master file specialist. So you can start talking about regulatory. You can talk about an article you read about regulations. You can talk about anything. And this is going to force you, once you start creating content, it's going to force you to learn more about your interests, which is going to be a vicious cycle, right? But in a good way. It's a vicious cycle in a good way. And so that's just going to feed upon itself. So then the more that you post, the more people are going to know that you're more and more and more informed each time. Okay, that could lead into the next level. This is on the same plane of difficulty, which is LinkedIn Stories. It only works from mobile. but you can post like a quick video, every day. The thing about this strategy is you got to do it every day. You got to be consistent with it and do it every single day. Don't miss a day, maybe the weekends. So that's one way. But also, your content has to be somewhat either entertaining, informative, uh, or a combination of the two. Or another good thing is talking about other companies. So, or reading news stories related to your topic of interest, and then giving your opinion on those news stories. So you can either do that on a post with a picture, you can do that on a story, LinkedIn story, you can do that with a post with no picture, and you can get to the most advanced level, which is video. And even one level above that is what I'm doing now, live streaming. So I understand not all this stuff is for everybody. If you don't hate video, don't do it. The point is, the examples I gave from the beginning, you don't even need to create content. You're just interacting with other people's content. So like in boxing, instead of being a puncher, you're a counter puncher. You're waiting for somebody else to punch, and then you dodge, and then you punch back. That's a counter puncher. So this is the way to start using LinkedIn. Related to LinkedIn, there are Facebook groups, tons of Facebook groups. You have to get invited to some of them. Some are very strict. Most are very easy to get in, and they'll kick you out if you start spamming. Clinical research memes is one of them. There's a lot of clinical research Facebook groups. I don't really use Facebook much, so I'm not like an expert on Facebook, but I know that there are tons of Facebook groups out there where you can basically implement the same strategy. There, it's even easier. You don't even need to create content. You just network. You just comment on other people's stuff, right? And the more you end up doing that, the more people are going to figure out who you are, how they can help you. It's just reciprocity. People want to help one another, but only if they feel like they know you or they think you're a decent person. So that is Facebook. Twitter has a clinical research community on there as well, and a life sciences community. You can find topics based on hashtags. So obviously hashtag clinical research would be a good one. I used to do this back in the day too, before I started my YouTube channel in 2010. 2009 was when I first opened my Twitter account, and this was all I was doing. Hashtag clinical research, replying to everybody. Some of it was patients looking for studies, and I would go on clinicaltrials.gov and help them find studies. It all is based on what you're trying to achieve, of course. So keep that in mind. Another thing you can do, which I'm not necessarily a fan of hosting rooms on Clubhouse, but I do think there is a lot of value in Clubhouse for people looking to network. It's just a lot of work to host your own room. Luckily, there are enough rooms in life sciences to where you can find at least a few conversations every week. I know Craig Lipset and Joe Dustin and Marjorie from Topaz Clinical Research have a talk every week. So you can do that every week. The Clubhouse is still small, and I don't think it's growing, so there's a benefit there. The benefit is that you'll start seeing the same people every week. And there are some pretty high-level people in clinical research. I mean, real decision makers, people that there are movers and shakers in there hosting rooms. And you could be in the rooms with them and have conversations with them. Even if you're not in clinical research, you can just and remember the vicious cycle I was telling you about. The more you create, the more you interact, the more you're actually going to learn, so that then you can interact better, and then people are going to start to notice. It's just a vicious cycle. So you're not only are you helping yourself learn more about whatever your topic is, but you are getting noticed as well, which is the whole point of this. So that's in under 20 minutes. Some real tactical ways. We didn't even talk about writing articles. I know a lot of you guys and gals are introverts. You could write articles, post them on Medium for free, and then from Medium you could share the link to your article on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. Because remember, LinkedIn won't let you write articles until you reach a certain amount of connections. So this way, there's no excuse, and it's absolutely free. So thank you guys very much. I wanted to give you guys some tactical advice. Be looking forward to more videos tomorrow from me, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye. Have a good day.